This episode of Birds and Bats is brought to you by SemoAutomall.com. Wanting to shop for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and more? Do so from the comfort of your home at SemoAutomall.com.
Happy Easter and happy opening day, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Birds and Bats. We're your hosts. My name is Stephen.
My name is MacKenzie, and we're just a couple of Cardinal fans that just want to sit around and talk about baseball. I mean, we're going to have this entire season to go through, and we really just want to invite you to do that with us.
So join us every Saturday starting April 18th at foxradionetwork.com/Birds and Bats. Well, opening day, it's finally here. How excited are you, MacKenzie?
Dude, I cannot even tell you how stoked I am about baseball finally being back. It's great. Like I already get like the fuzzy, gooey feelings coming back. But we're going to be starting out with the Cubs this year. How much more classic can you get with that?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it is going to be sick. The Cubs are supposed to be good this year. So apparently it'll probably be a pretty good game series. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, and I know I say this every year, but it seriously feels like it's been the longest off season ever for me. So I am beyond ready for baseball to be back and to get started. So why do you think opening day is so important? And do you have like any good opening day memories or stories that come along with it?
Opening day, it kind of reminds me of like going back to your grandma's house. Like you just get nostalgic and you want to pay for the overpriced hot dog as soon as you get into the stadium, and you want to buy the beer that like self-fills it just because it self-fills itself, and you want to do all those things. There's that nostalgia, but I do actually have a story real quick. It's a little embarrassing, but I love it. So whenever I was 11, my mom took me out for us to get tickets for the World Series, and crap. Well, anyway, so she took us out so that we could get tickets for opening day, and I got those mixed up because my brother and my sister stayed out for the year before.
Yeah,
but anyway,
World Series is a little more exciting than opening
day,
but
a little bit. I mean, they're about even par to me.
Opening day comes every year. World Series. If you're a Cardinals fan, it feels like it comes every year, but...
Well, we get there, and then, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, so my mom took me out for an entire day of school so that I could get tickets for opening day, and I was so stoked about it. I mean, I had my favorite t-shirt on, which was like an XXL on me, and I was like swimming in it. It was great. And I was a tiny little thing, and I had a bowl haircut. It was awesome. Well, by the grace of God, we somehow got onto a news network and was interviewed for waiting in line for these tickets, and I was so excited because I'm like, I'm on TV! Oh my God, I'm 11 and I'm on TV! So all that happened. I was so excited. I had my day filled with cotton candy and hot dogs, and the next day I went back to school, and my teacher pointed me out in the middle of school while I was walking down the hallway. Was like, "You!" I'm like, "No! I'm so sorry. I'm only 11." But yeah, that was my story. I love that memory. It comes back every single opening day. It's great.
Well, I agree with like Ozzie Smith. Like last year, he was trying to get opening day to become a national holiday. I don't think we should even have to go to school or work on opening day. So, in my opinion, you did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so either, at all, whatsoever. But what was the hardest part about waiting for this season for you?
Well, the end of last season was really disappointing. Like, with the series we had against the Giants in the NLCS, for the record, I'm really tired of the Giants, and I'm tired of losing to them in the playoffs. But I respect them a lot. But it was just... It was such a rough series because I feel like if we would have had Molina healthy and if we would have had Wainwright healthy that entire series, I really think we could have gone on to the World Series because a lot of those games were really hard fought and pretty close. Yeah. And I just feel like there was some that just kind of got away with us. Yeah. So that was part of the reason. And then, we can't ignore the fact of, the tragedy that happened over the season, the tragic loss of Oscar Taveras and his girlfriend. That's kind of hovered around in our minds. And I think we're just kind of ready to get back to the joy and the happiness that baseball can bring you. And I'm also really excited to see what Jason Hayward can do and how the Cardinals are going to be looking this year.
Yeah. How do you think they're going to look this year? Like watching spring training, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm really superstitious when it comes to baseball. And during the World Series, I would eat the same thing for lunch every day. I would pick out my outfits extremely carefully. I would listen to this song or listen to that song. I would, should I skip class this day? Should I go to class this day? The Cardinals won last night, so maybe I should skip class. Or maybe that was only a Tuesday thing. I'm really superstitious. And one of the things I don't like to do is make predictions. So I'll give you kind of just a really vague, player interview answer, so to speak. And I think it's going to be a fun season. That's all I can say. It's going to be interesting to see how young guys like Wong and Carlos Martinez, how they kind of progress through this season. Mm-hmm. And it's also going to be fun with the rivalry between the Cubs. The Cubs are supposed to be better this year, and the past few years... supposed to be. But the past few years, the Cubs, they've been terrible. They've been like the doormat of the NL Central.
Dude, they've been the doormat since like 1800. So.
Yeah, that's true. But maybe like it'll become a little bit exciting this year, but who knows? We'll see.
We will definitely see. But Waino is actually going to be starting this series with the Cubs, isn't he?
Yep, that's right.
That's going to be
He's
so
set
awesome.
for the opening night.
Oh my gosh. And then we have opening day. Okay, so we have the beginning of Cardinal, or we have the beginning of baseball with, the game on Sunday, or the opening day.
Tomorrow.
Right, today.
Yeah.
In April, the game against the Cubs. You've got baseball starting and everything, and you got to be excited about that. But then we also have the home opener on the 13th against the Brewers. Mm-hmm. So, which I think is almost a little bit, I feel like the Brewers are becoming a little bit more of a classic. Like, not up par with Cubs just yet, but we've had a lot of tosses.
We've had some run-ins with them and little shouting matches a few years ago, but...
Yeah, just a little shout match. Yeah. But I actually remember last season, I ended up tweeting something out, but we were playing against the Brewers, and it was a beatdown. It was like third inning, and we were already winning by 7. It was terrible. And I remember tweeting out, like, you okay, Brews? Like, is everything okay? Like, are y'all doing all right? And then the very next game, they killed us. So I feel like they're kind of getting up there with the classical, Cards versus Cubs, like Cards versus Brewers and everything like that. So.
And then Pittsburgh, has made it to the playoffs 2 years in a row. We played them in the NLDS in 2013. They didn't have a winning season almost like my entire life until like 2 years ago. So it's really fun to see how they've turned it around. And we're so competitive against them. Mm-hmm. It's not been a rivalry where there's been like fights and like shouting matches and stuff like that. It's just been like really two good teams going at each other. So... that's always been fun to watch, is the Pittsburgh games.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how jazzed you are about this, but I'm so excited. Again, baseball is starting again. Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
But we have the opening day or later tonight, and then we have the home opener April 13th.
Yep.
And there's nothing like the home opener.
Oh my gosh, no.
Opening day, it's great, but the home opener is just where it really starts to feel like baseball season, and it really starts to feel like summer. When you see like the Hall of Famers coming in on the trucks, and the Clydesdales, and the players coming out one by one, and they're playing the little there's just so much great tradition.
Oh my gosh,
and just
I hate that organ,
so much
but I love that song.
Oh, no, you can't hate the organ. That's the best part.
I do. I do hate the organ, but it is a part of baseball, and I will gladly accept it. Oh my gosh. Do you ever feel like I feel like this guy is always at Busch Stadium every single opener, or really every single game for that matter? Have you ever noticed this? You get to the ballpark and you're trying to go in, no matter what gate it is that you're trying to go in, it's like he's always there. Like there's a mob of them or something.
Are you talking about the Superman guy
No,
outside Busch Stadium?
No, not that guy.
Oh.
It's, maybe that guy. I don't know. It might be the same dude, but he's like he's this really old guy. And he has like the Kentucky Fried Chicken look and everything with like the white beard and everything. And he is just decked out in like everything Cardinals
I think I know
possible.
what you're talking about.
But he's at every single freaking gate, and I don't know how he does that.
But
I feel like that's almost a part of it now. Like that guy and the person that does the whistle at every single, you know what whistle I'm talking about? The it goes forever, but they do it all the time, and I always feel like I'm just close enough to figure out who it is, but I never figure out who it is.
I mean,
it might be multiple people. It's probably what it is. But
if I could, that's how I would be. I would absolutely love to have, their not their life, so to speak, but just to be able to be as committed to the Cardinals as they are.
I don't want to be you. I want to party with you, though, is what that is. Well, that's the, end of our first episode.
Yep. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of good news to report to you all the next episode. Hopefully, we'll get off to a good start this season. And if you have any questions or comments, you can send them to us on Twitter at Fox Radio Network or #BirdsandBats.
And we will see you next time on April 18th and at foxradionetwork.com /birdsandbats.
All right. Have a good day, and let's go Cards.
Woo!